I seem to have some crazy luck with lightsabers. So this particular hilt, it's not so much going to be an unboxing, it's just a reveal. And so dun dun dun, there you go, the big reveal. This is my Saberforge Talon, and it shifted a bit. Here, let me rearrange this. Do 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 do. There we go. Okay, so I received this yesterday, and she's supposed to be installed with the Golden Harvest version 3. You can see the port there indicating that this is a champion tier. And yeah, it's a beautiful saber. I'm not really going to go over the details. I'll save that for the review. What I experienced when I first unboxed this was a kind of confusion, because there's a lot of things that the saber currently is set up to not be able to do. For one, the Golden Harvest version 3 is supposed to have 25 sound fonts. And apparently that's a default from the company that produces the soundboard. And I know this because I went to their website, and I was able to download all of the sound fonts and all the effects packages and everything that's normally installed on this soundboard. So I have that all set on a micro SD card with an adapter. And for reasons why I'll let you know shortly. And this is currently only installed with one sound font. The previous owner had installed Hoth, and that's a Luke Skywalker sound font. Other than that, for some reason, the clash seems to be turned off, as is the smooth swing. And I'll demo that for you right now. It does turn on. And Hoth is it. If I hold down the button, you should be able to switch fonts. And you just get the boot up for Hoth. And the boot up for Hoth. And then it turns on. The LEDs are blood orange, and they're extremely bright. Look how bright that is. It's a very nice color. And, well, that's not smooth swing. So I have to assume that the smooth swing is turned off. And I'll give you my rationale for why in just a moment. So, other than that, flash isn't working. But the blaster deflect is. As is lockup. And force effects and things like that. So everything seems to be working for the most part. It charges. It turns on and off. It goes into deep sleep mode and all that stuff. So I spoke to the seller, and the seller is convinced that the saber, being labeled as used, I should have expected this. And they insisted that there's no deception on their part, and that everything works as it should, and that I just need to connect it to a computer, yada yada yada, make all the appropriate adjustments to suit my preferences, which is to have everything working. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have everything working, but apparently that's a thing. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my new saber into work, because all the laptops, all the PCs in my house are too old to actually connect to sabers with the higher end soundboards. They're not compatible. So that's why I have all the fonts and everything that need to go onto the soundboard for this thing on a micro SD card with an adapter. And I have the requisite cable so I can connect it to my PC at work. And I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to work, and during a little bit of a downtime or during lunch, And I'm going to see if I can get this thing working to full capacity, get it fully installed with sound fonts, and see if I can't get to sort of factory default. And then I'll have that as an addendum, whether I was successful or not, to the as kind of a part 2 of this video, and then I'll demo some of the things that you're not seeing in part 1. So one more time, let me just give you a quick view of this thing. It's a very, very pretty saber. Has four blade retention screws, which is really nice. And of course, this is a thin neck. This thing is horrendously uncomfortable, but the rest of it's pretty comfortable. Unless you start hitting this against your forearm, which I've done. But yeah, and you know, as you can see, it's the weathered finish, the V2 finish. The way Saberforge does it, the standard finish they call it V1, the weathered finish they call it V2, and then the matte black finish they call it V3. Just for clarification. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say in part 1, and hopefully part 2 will be me coming at you guys with hopefully some success. So that's pretty much it. I will see everyone in part 2. Okay, so I'm back. Many hours later, and oh boy, what a day it's been. So anyway, regarding the issues with the saber, well, this is sort of a lesson, something that you will probably encounter yourself if you buy sabers secondhand. This saber was listed as containing a Golden Harvest version 3 by the seller. Well, without throwing the seller under the bus, in case the seller is watching this video, you know, they were kind of going by what the Saberforge website said. They don't really seem to know much about sabers. I think this was being sold, you know, either for someone, or they maybe acquired it in a lot, or something to that effect. But they were going by the Saberforge website, which said that a Champion Edition had the Golden Harvest version 3. But they didn't really know anything about sabers and the nature of change. And the thing that obviously has changed with Saberforge is that they used to use the Sabercore 3.0. So, one of the things I did was, you know, based on the performance of this hilt and the things that it was and was not doing, was I opened up the pommel and I looked at the soundboard. And first thing I noticed was, wow, that doesn't look like a Golden Harvest 3. So, to confirm this, I took a photo, and here is the photo. Okay, so I sent that photo to Saberforge, and within a matter of hours, they wrote back to me and they said, yeah, that's one of our saber cores, definitely. So, well, obviously, we had a little bit of an issue. So, these things are going to happen, and a lot of people are going to write in the comments that, oh, I'd be pissed, I'd be this, I'd be that, I'd be angry, I'd be, you know, this happens. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time this has happened to me. So I messaged the seller and I told them exactly what happened. I wasn't angry. I was civil. I kept my tone level. Obviously, I wasn't happy. But what can you do? Starting a fight, getting into a war with someone, it doesn't benefit anybody. So, essentially, in the end, I decided to keep the hilt because, I mean, look at this thing. It's really pretty. It's very well made. Eventually, I'll get it dialed in. I'm considering buying a brand new laptop simply so I can edit this stuff. I still have the Sabercore 3 app or the software or whatever you want to call it for editing these things. I just can't use it on my laptop because my laptop can't connect to the Saber. So I'm gonna upgrade my laptop at some point so that I can start doing things with sabers, and I'm really tired of this limitation. Um, well, I'm starting to lose my voice. So anyway, to make this video much shorter, um, essentially I came to a point where the seller was just arguing with me, so I just stopped, filed a return request. And I basically, in the return request, I indicated that I would take the saber if they would knock off X amount of dollars, or barring that, I'll return it for a full refund. And the seller basically decided to knock off the X amount of dollars and changed his or her tune, and became a lot more agreeable in the situation. And we're both going to get out of it with, they'll get some money. I'll get a pretty decent saber. Not exactly what I wanted, but that's the nature of the world. You don't always get what you want exactly. This is just the world that we live in. The world owes you nothing. The world will skin you alive. That's just the nature of things. And sometimes you have to come out of it on top, to the best of your abilities. You're not always going to win. It's not always going to be, one W in the U column, and you have to make the best of a situation. And that's what I did. So that's just basically that's my PSA to everyone regarding sabers. So eventually, I will get this thing sorted out, and then at that point, I'll just treat it like one of my precious few champion edition sabers. I don't currently have a Golden Harvest version 3 yet. I have yet another Sabercore 3.0 and yet another champion edition, another Saberforge champion tier Sabercore 3.0 with problems. This is probably the fourth one that I've had issues with. Don't ask me why. Once I get them up and running, they're fine. It just takes a bit of extra work. And, yeah, I guess that's pretty much the end of this sort of story at this point. Come on, turn on. At least now we know why this doesn't have smooth swing. As far as the issue with the clash, I don't know. I think the clash is probably just turned off. Everything on this saber seems to work right. It just seems to only have the one font instead of 3. And the clash seems to be either turned way down or completely off. So this should be an easy fix. I just have to get the right I just have to connect to it and make the proper changes, and it should be fine. Anyway, see, it's not that bad otherwise. And I got it for a good price. And I'll leave it at that. Oh, and it also has the vibrating feature in the handle, which is really, really cool. You can hear it. Maybe. Well, I can hear it, but you probably can't. But yeah, the vibrating feature, that's just weird. Yeah. When I put it against the surface, you can hear the... Yeah. Anyway, so that wraps up this video, and hopefully everyone will get something out of it, and it's not a complete waste of time. So, thanks for watching, and may the force be with all of you. It's Friday Eve, weekend Eve, and we're almost to relaxation time, because damn, this week has been, I don't know what this week has been. It's been a hoot. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, and you guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.